Hey YouTube, it's Dimitri, and today I am going to do a quick Christmas review here. I always want to do one of these, and then I look down and today's I don't know, right at the end of November here. Thanksgiving's right upon us. Black Friday's days away, and now I'm I should have made this video in I don't know, August, September, October. But it's just really hard for me to sit down and make a gift list because I'm not very good at, picking out gifts. Anyways, let's just dive on into a few recommendations, things I think Quants would like. Also just thinking about it from a perspective of things that you might like, how to kind of pick out gifts for people. But let's just dive on in here. So the first thing I have on my list is, of course, a few different books. So most quants read a lot. They study a lot, at least, the ones that enjoy this. The first book, though, is Introduction to Stochastic Processes with R. This is the first edition. I believe there's only one edition. It's by Robert Dobrow. Anyways, I have not read this book, so I don't know how good it is. It does have good reviews. One of my subscribers recommended it. I get a lot of recommendation for books, but what piqued my interest was that it's with R. So there are a lot of stochastic calculus books that goes into theory. There are some that are only finance focused, which just drives me nuts for a variety of reasons. But again, being able to program things, look at things, code things, get hands-on, that's where I think it's going to be at. I might review this book next year. So I've reached out to the publisher, see if I can get a free copy. If not, I will definitely buy this book. It is $97.75 right now, so basically $100. The ebook is $104. Why would you pay more for a digital book? I have no idea. I like having hardcover books. I write in them. Yeah, I know people cringe when I say that, but I keep these books forever. So I write in them, I make notes, I highlight, I know everything in the book because I love reading these books. I think this would be a great book, though. I want to see the application of programming. Again, a subscriber said it was great. I give you some trust, some credibility. You're watching my channel, right? Anyways, that's the first thing on my list. The second one here is going to be for people that like quant finance. You want to see more of an insider perspective on, I guess, some of the history and some of the ideas. So for those of you that don't know, I am a huge Fischer Black fan. I read a lot of his material, his work, his research. I just think he's pretty amazing and brilliant man for finance in general. But this book is Fischer Black and the Revolutionary Idea of Finance. It will give you more of a background on who Fischer Black is, a lot of his struggles. So people say oh, he was loved by the industry. He was amazing. He never worships him. But no, he wasn't popular in many circles. For example, the bank that he worked at in many areas didn't like him. Again, there's some conflict about how he got his PhD. So again, he's not that traditional route that everyone talks about. You go out and get a master's PhD, you get a job and everything plays out wonderfully. That's not Fischer Black's story. Fischer Black is an economist, which shocks a lot of people as well. Again, from the Black-Scholes. The book is amazing. The book is written by Perry Merling. I believe Perry Merling knew him personally, so the book is actually, I think, a very good perspective on Fischer Black and his life. So I think it's amazing. I've read it at least twice now. I recommend it to other people. It's kind of a different perspective on quant finance, right? It's not math. It's looking at the life, kind of the career, and kind of the struggle with Fischer Black getting to where he was and who he was as a person and not being accepted by the industry or by most people in general. So I really like this book. I think it gives you a good perspective on quants from a different view. And then third here, I'm not going to say too much about for a variety of reasons here, but the first reason being I am actually reading this book. I am going to be reviewing this book. So yes, I do have an actual physical copy of it, which was provided by the author, but I reached out to them. I really wanted to review this book. So there are a lot of recommendations on it. It has finance applications in it, but it also has biology applications in it, I believe physics applications. It is a stochastic calculus book. I do not recommend this to anybody in business or finance. Stochastic processes, probability, calculus, it's very hard to grasp without a super strong background in measure theory and probability, and in calculus and mathematics. So again, you should have taken at least through Calc 3 to even get going on this book. I don't recommend this to most people. Even the first one, right? I should have disclaimed that. Again, stochastic calculus, introduction to stochastic processes. If you do it right, you really try to understand the material, the math, the theory. It's challenging. If you just want to blow through and find a lot of finance examples and do a bunch of hand waving and forget that, lemmas and proofs exist, go ahead and get a finance book. But this book, again, like the other one, is not finance specific. It does have finance examples in it. I like it, and the reason I'm actually reviewing it, so a little bit of a spoiler here, is because it has different examples. So I want to see it applied to hard sciences. I want to see how it's actually used in different fields. Just doing the Black-Scholes, the basics, the 101 is a big waste of time. Just going through even other types of models, for example, I don't think it's very helpful in general, even from a finance quant perspective. So I think this book is so far, I'm a big fan of it. But again, I wouldn't recommend it to anyone who doesn't have a very, very strong quant background to get started. And then finally here, I drink a ton of coffee. So I used to drink a lot of coffee, I should say. I was drinking equivalents of like 4 cups a day. Had some sensitivity issues with way too much caffeine. Layered those on with Rockstar energy drinks, and it's not a good combination here. But quants drink a lot of coffee. I drink a ton in the office. I drink a lot at home. Even now, I'm switching more to decaf. But I drink coffee because it's a cultural kind of perspective. I do it to kind of get to know people, to network, to meet people. It's a habit. I enjoy it. I enjoy the taste. I'm super, super into coffee. So I was going to show you guys here, Trade Coffee. You can buy stuff on here if you want like better quality coffee. So I'm not going to go into too much slamming, but I'm not a fan of Starbucks coffee for a variety of reasons. I'm not a fan of a lot of cheaper coffees, though I will drink anything from dirt cheap free office coffee, which is absolutely terrible, all the way through, I don't know, $40, $50 bags of coffee. I drink coffee a lot, but coffee is big with quants. One thing I do though, you can buy off of Trade. I'm not sponsored by them. They're not paying me. They haven't asked to be on here. And one thing I do, so let's just kind of show you that I'm not sponsored by them, is I actually go on here and I find coffees that I like, and then I figure out who the roaster is. And a lot of times I just go to the roaster's website and buy a few bags and get free shipping. So I think it's better to support them. Again, Trade is amazing because it has all these different, angles. It shows you all the different coffees. And if you wanted to buy a bunch of different bags or get a subscription, I think it's awesome to use Trade Coffee. I like it. I go through a lot of it. One thing I do like a lot about their website is you can do country, and you can do region, and you can do price, and you can do coffee taste and roast levels. Like, there's a million different factors you can sort through and look at the combinations and try to explore new things. I'm not a fan of going on specific roasters websites because a lot of times I feel like they only understand how to roast coffee kind of through one mental process. So while they might do a light, medium, and dark roast, they might try to do different varieties. A lot of times they all start tasting quite similar because the roasting process is almost the same. So this website in general I like. If you want to support them though, definitely go ahead and give them a purchase. It helps them out, right? Again though, I use it for researching coffees and brands, and I find new roasters. I do occasionally purchase off of Trade because I kind of feel bad that I use their website more as less like a research tool and not a business. But they have a lot of coffees. Again, I love coffee. Quants drink a lot of coffee. If you don't drink coffee, completely understand. But it's a great way to network. I take people out for a cup of coffee. I buy you one. I try to find somewhere better than Starbucks a lot of times, even though Starbucks is convenient. So we do that too. Anyways, coffee is a good example. Something fun, something exciting, something you can actually consume and use. Unlike textbooks where a lot of times you might get it, you might not enjoy it, and then you might not read through the whole thing. And then finally on here, my quant merch. So I'll give you the mugs. The mugs I like the designs of. I like my merch designs in general. The mugs are small though for me, so I have to drink 2 or 3 of them sometimes to get enough coffee. For me, that's kind of a buzzkill. But again, there's some cool stuff on here. I love the hoodies, so I don't show it a lot, but I wear the hoodies a ton. I have 2 hoodies. I have a green one that says Fancy Quant, which is more like this red one here. And then I have one that has the FQ logo on it. They're super soft on the inside. I wear them for everyday use out and about, walking my daughter, working on cars, motorcycles. I wear them a lot. I live in Dallas, Texas though, so I don't wear them during the summers or springs or any of that. But I do have also some t-shirts I enjoy wearing. Again, there's some cool stuff on here. If you want to support the channel, get something cool, get something different, kind of show your fancy quant side. And then to wrap this up here, just as ideas here, what's on my actual Christmas list. Quants are normal people. We have hobbies outside of, being quants. And so things that are on my list this year, for example, are going to be books on rebuilding engines. So yes, I'm going to be rebuilding a new car. I bought a classic muscle car. I guess I shouldn't say I bought it. It was my dad's high school car. He gave it to me. I drove it all the way from Washington State down to Texas. We're going to rebuild the thing. I'm going to take everything off the parts, everything all the way down to the bare bones, to the frame. I'm going to do all the metal work, welding, painting, rust removal, everything. Rebuilding engines, all that. If there's anything that's like honing of cylinders and all that, I'll take it to a machine shop. But I've got a book. I'll have a book on mine that's a how to rebuild 289 engines, which is the size of engine in my Ford that I have. So again, looking at things you can get. I also have, for example, welding pliers because I'm probably going to start welding because that's a new thing I need to learn. I want to do it for the car, something exciting, something different to learn, different hobby. I also have impact screwdrivers. So again, this has to do with my mechanic side, my other hobbies, my interests. Try to learn things about people. Try to think about things that are little, that are small. I hate asking for people for giant gifts like, oh, buy me this, $200 whatever. I don't know. I don't know, some type of electronic or something. But anyways, those are my tips. Those are my tricks. That's kind of what's on my Christmas list here in general. But anyways, thanks for watching. And as always, until next time.